Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dota 2 Asia Championships 2015. My name is SUNSfan, joined by Blitz. How are you doing?
I cannot match that speed.
It's only 1 in a million. It never happens. This is going to be our first cast together. I'm super duper excited. And the matchup is HGT versus IG. What are their records, Blitz? Read it off the screen if you need some help.
IG is 8-6.
Your mic needs to be closer to your mouth. I can barely hear you.
IG.
No, let me help you there. Hold on. Let me turn on the camera real quick. Gotta get this on.
I like how you turn on the light as well.
Well, they have to be able to see. Here you go. Right there.
5 seconds.
There you go. That's a good boy.
Okay.
That's a good boy.
That's your pet dog. IG is 8-6, and HGT is 5-9.
Do you know the format after this? Like, who does Team Secret play?
Secret will play the 8th team, I believe.
The 8th?
Yeah.
And then the lower bracket is like the second round base. Oh, I see. Yeah. So the lower bracket, they play each other.
I believe so.
Okay.
And it's at that point, it's like if you're done, you're done.
Yeah.
And the top 8 get top seeded. I think this is still a game that's important to IG.
Yeah, so IG right now is tied for 6th. So if they win, looks like they have the tiebreaker over Hellraisers. So if they win, they stay 6th, and they play seed 3, which is Vici Gaming right now. Does that seem right to you?
I think if you're IG...
I think you want to lose this game, right?
Yeah, I think you're okay. I think the ideal is that you actually play Team Big God.
Yeah, Big God or Na'Vi.
Yeah, Big God or Na'Vi is probably who you're shooting for.
You want to avoid Vici,
Vici, yeah, Secret. Those are all meat grinders. I feel like even though Big God has that record...
Can they handle that, though? Like, Hellraisers, that means they have to win, and then IG has to win.
Yeah, I think IG...
sorry, IG has to lose to swap places with them.
I think IG still goes for this win, though.
Like, how does that go through your mind?
10
like, if you're like, this is... So let's just get a hypothetical situation
5 seconds remaining.
You're going to the playoffs no matter what, your team.
Okay.
If you win the last game, which is not the most... It's not meaningless, but if you win this last game, you play against an opponent you know you'll have a tough time against. If you lose, you're guaranteed to go against a team you're much more comfortable with. Do you actually just not win the game? Like, is that ever a thing?
The thing is, I know people in Dota don't like to talk about it, but it is a thing in real sports.
Yep.
Is that it that's the thing. People are like,
well, it's just like basketball. They just bench their players.
Yeah, it's like that's... But you can't do that in Dota. But the Dota way of doing it is that you don't play your optimal strats.
Right.
Like, nobody in Dota ever goes into a game and says, hey, guys, what happens if we just lose? But you can do that Na'Vi thing, remember, where they pick techies and they just kind of like have a laugh and stuff, and nobody seemed too offended at that. And so maybe you don't give it your all, but you still...
You know what's funny about that, Blitz?
What?
So Na'Vi did that, right?
Yeah.
And everybody didn't have a care in the world.
10 seconds
I don't know if you remember.
Remaining.
You were in the you were in the SEA qualifiers, but in the North American qualifiers, I believe it was Liquid
Oh,
that
the
did
E-Hug
that,
thing.
and people shit on them. I think it depends on the team and how well liked they are.
Of course, if you're a winner, it's a sad fact of Dota that if you're a winner, you can get away with anything. Like Eternal Envy, if he says anything mean, it's just that he cares a lot about the game. But as soon as he's on the downswing, people will look for an opportunity to
kick him.
Yeah, it's just the way that it goes.
Down,
so when Liquid weren't very good, it's kind of like, okay, well, what they did was scummy, but they didn't have to. They had no obligation to any of the teams, right? Just themselves.
Well, but they have an obligation to the tournament as well, to some degree. I mean, an unwritten rule.
I guess, but I was comfortable with the Liquid thing personally, and I was comfortable with the Na'Vi thing. And if IG decides to pick techies because they want to avoid Secret, I would have no issues with that. But I feel like that's... But of course,
that's also assuming Hellraisers loses, because... Or, gotta keep doing it backwards. If Hellraisers wins and IG loses, then they swap, so...
Yeah. Well, regardless, the safest thing is just play your heart out. Hope whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. So, HGT, on the other hand, they are 5-9. They are tied for... Well, I guess that one might actually have a tiebreaker at the end of the day, but right now they're tied for 11th. So if they lose, they go 5-10. That's when tiebreakers occur. And I'm not sure what the head-to-heads are. So this actually might be a bigger game for HGT. Because if they win, they go 6-9, and I believe they should be guaranteed a top 12. I'm pretty sure that's the case.
At the very worst, I think they'd be tiebreakers.
Well, because look at this. Well, there might be tiebreakers regardless just because of the position, but Rave is already 5-10.
Yeah.
So they're out of it if both HGT and Tong Fu win.
Turn to ban.
Well,
So
no,
HGT is
because
guaranteed
Rave
if
has
they
played
win.
15 games.
Yeah, I know. But
Yeah.
if Tong Fu and HGT win, they both have 6 wins.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
So this is a huge game for HGT.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Team
man.
back.
Oh, I love this. Okay. IG did this in an earlier game a couple days ago with me and Cinder and Casting. And I called the slaughter. I called the slaughter pick.
You have proof?
It's minus. It's on VOD, so yes, I do have proof. There's no Vengeful Spirit this time, though. But that's
10
still
seconds
extremely powerful
remaining.
lineup.
I thought that, you know that,
5
black,
seconds
like,
remaining.
Thought it was a
Trash
cat? Same thing over there. Every time. So there's these trash
Reserve
cans
I thought
with
it was a cat.
the trash bags. They keep moving in the wind, and we keep thinking that there's a cat.
We're the only
walking
people
by.
stupid enough that you instantly knew what I was. It's just,
Dude, I've been thinking that all week. So
yeah, it's kind of crazy though. You're like, you thought it was a cat. It's just like, I didn't even have to say the second part of that. You just instantly knew.
we're just in tune together.
You know, not a lot of people might watch this game, but I'm having so much fun. We're so stupid.
This is how I normally cast, bro. Welcome
just
to
a
the Dota Cinema regular cast.
This is
Oh,
the Omni Knight.
I love watching. I hate playing against him, but I love watching Omni Knight.
See, what do you feel like this fits in? Do you feel like they pick an Omni as Slardar? These are traditionally not very picked heroes. And also, if it was a pocket strat, would you really save it for this?
It's not really a pocket strat because they've already done this, minus the Omni Knight.
Yeah,
I guess
that's what I mean. Like in conjunction with the
With-
Omni, maybe it's something you just try.
yeah, maybe they're just experimenting a bit. I mean, it's a basic minus armor strat with
10
a
seconds
repel.
remaining.
Essentially, that's what this is. I mean,
5
in all likelihood,
seconds
Bristleback will be the
remaining.
off-lane Shadowfiend mid. And the problem with Omni Knight in general
Reserve
is his
time.
laning just sucks, generally speaking.
Yeah. There was a period of time, remember, when PA was really popular. It was like PA Omni, PA Omni, PA Omni. But it's just not as big of a thing because Omni Knight is so exploitable. Once you get Diffusal Blades, the hero really begins to take a turn for the worse. I think the key here is that if the Omni gets a good start, generally you're in a really favorable position, but it's rare that that happens because you're almost relying on a 4-on-5 game to go in your favor.
So HGT, they did get the Wisp in conjunction with the Viper. What do you think about that combination? It's not the most standard of duos.
Viper Troll? Or I mean Troll Wisp?
Isn't it a Viper Wisp
No.
more than anything?
That's Troll Wisp.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, I know they can do either, but I figured the main... I mean, it's not going to be a Troll mid? It's going to be a Viper mid?
they
right.
can, I mean,
Prepare
where
for
lanes
battle.
doesn't matter so much as just the fact that the Wisp, for the most part, should be tethered to the Troll, I feel. Unless
Okay.
this is some next level thing that I'm not thinking of.
I'll assume you're correct.
No, I could be wrong. Honestly, Troll or Wisp Viper doesn't sound awful. Here's the thing, I just don't want to be wrong. Because then what's the point of having me if you're
No,
like
Syndrone's wrong all the time.
sick. So I don't have a whole high bar to hit
Yeah, you
with
don't,
my head.
You're perfectly fine, buddy.
Yes.
All right, let's go over the lineups while we have some time. So for HGT, Air is going to be playing that Viper, which may or may not be coupled with Kaka on that Aya. Icy going to play the Clockwork today. And Pretty Ha on a nice-looking Shadow Shaman. That's a good set. I like that set. Makes him look a little bit like Dazzle, but that's fine.
30
ZSMJ, not
seconds to
ZSMJ,
battle.
on the Troll Warlord.
Is it because of that's how Syndrome says it?
It's more because Andrew Ziori says that.
Oh, yeah.
And he's American.
That's just the old school way of calling it, though. It's like how all the Europeans used to say
saying
it.
old school is like the 90s, not the 20s.
Dude, I'm a legacy player, so whatever.
Yeah, that doesn't compare at all. Oh, looks like HGT's just gonna give this
Whatever,
up. They
man.
don't want
Free
to
bounty rune for the Wisp. YOLO. You give it to the Wisp, right? You have to
I
give
think
it to the
so.
Wisp. Yeah.
I'm a proponent of giving
That's
it to the supports usually.
Well, that and the fact that look at his items. He's going fast bottle.
Yeah.
He hasn't even had stacked.
All right, go over IG, bro.
No, I've never done this before. Okay. For Invictus Gaming, the TI2 champions, we've got G or Luo, as it's more commonly pronounced. This is not pronunciation, it's just his name. We've got June playing the
You didn't say
Slardar.
what hero he's playing.
Oh, he's playing the Bristleback.
There you go.
My bad, dude. I got caught up in the name.
It's okay.
we've got June, the almost first 8K player in Dota, playing the Slardar.
Wait, which? Oh, you're going at the top. No. Okay, we're gonna start this over. If you're gonna be casting for Join Dota,
Dude, I'm almost done. You can't break my rhythm right now.
Okay, fine.
We've got Ferrari in the mid lane playing the Shadow Fiend. We've got Chizbug playing the Omni Knight support, and we've got Chuan, the other TI2 winner, on their team playing the Witch Doctor support.
The one and only Chuan, absolutely.
That guy is really nice. By
Look
the
at
way.
mid, by the way. You like this? You like this call, bro?
What, the Wisp?
Yeah,
the Wisp Viper? I don't think there's a point in that. The Viper's gonna dominate, and the Wisp doesn't add too much. Like, look at Ferrari. Look how impudent he is.
He doesn't give one.
You think
crap.
he cares?
Well,
you think he
taking
cares
some
about this?
Poison attack.
You think he cares
does.
about this?
A little bit.
You think
a little
he
bit.
definitely doesn't care about? Oh God, he should start caring.
Are they gonna?
He has to care about this.
First blood goes the way of the best combo in the game, and Blitz agrees. The Viper and Wisp.
I was just messing around. I knew he was dead.
But yeah, that's not a good start. And yeah, it's a tough lane regardless.
Man,
it's top lane.
If Ferrari was just level 3 and he was able to no scope that and triple raise them as they came up the hill,
MLG no scope.
yeah, then he could have.
You're gonna have a lot of experience with MLG this year.
Yeah, I really am. I can make these jokes non-ironically.
That's true. I look forward to that, and I expect it, and I will be disappointed if they don't happen. Mid lane, more harassment onto Ferrari. Are they going to dive this even more? He's going to go into the trees.
Boy.
And down he goes again.
Dad, you have no bottle charges anymore.
Ferrari.
This combo.
Feeding.
What do you actually need me here for, SUNSfan? I just feel useless now.
It's okay. Cinderin, he just holds me back as well.
You really? What is this next level analysis? Probably somebody in chat called you an idiot. You know they did, right? And then they're just like, how could he possibly think that the Wisp was with the Viper? And now that guy's holding his head in shame like I am.
Well, I will say later in the game, the Wisp is probably going to be better than the Troll, but I don't know about the beginning.
For the time being, the Wisp Viper working out super well. To be fair, though, I don't think... The thing is about the mid lane is that if you're going to die, you're going to die. But it's not like he's getting too much CS out of this as well. He's only got 4 CS. It's not even like he's trading his life for anything. So at this point, he's just dying. He might as well go stack. If I were him, well, the Witch Doctor's doing it for him, but just do some jungle camps, stack out. Like, if you're just going to sit in the lane and die, there's no point in being there. He's going to get gone on again here, actually.
And here they go. Could this be another kill? Well, Chuan is here.
Here's the cask.
The nice cask. Didn't really talk about that. The cask being extremely good against the relocate later on. We'll see if that becomes prevalent or not. Viper's gonna... Well, what do you think about this? So, with Wisp helping dominate this lane, 'cause I think we agree that Viper versus Shadow Fiend is pretty generally in Viper's favor, big time anyway. Now that he's won already, does he rotate around helping other lanes? Or does he
Oh,
continue to
God.
dominate?
Kaka's dead. Well, he definitely doesn't do that.
Okay.
They don't have a high ground ward there, so there was no way that they could have seen the Witch Doctor, but it was still a bad idea. And I kind of think that they continue this setup. The problem is that by feeding that kill, especially for the Wisp, it sets him back quite far, and the Shadow Fiend is getting much needed levels, and the Witch Doctor is stacking for him too. But the Wisp, where else does he really go at this point? I guess he could go bottom to help a Clockwork out, but where does the Tether really benefit?
Oh my god, are they going to go again? Well, Witch Doctor's here yet again.
If he gets double raised, he would go down. And
One more hit can take down
is-
Ferrari with that Nether Toxin. Nope. Air's going to walk away with Maledict level 1 applied.
There's no way he dives that after that. There's only, well, he does have battle charges, so he should be perfectly fine. But look how much damage he's taken from that. He's got treads already, though. And Ferrari has just bottle. He does have level 5 now. Manages to pick up the rune, which is huge, actually. Look how gimped this Wisp is now. It's going to be difficult for him to make a move.
Indeed. Top lane. We have the Bristleback, and now Witch Doctor has joined him. And mid lane's going to know that. They're going to have that information. So we'll see if that comes to effect as far as trying to get a kill or not. Omni Knight. I'm always interested to see what Omni Knight builds are going to be. This is more standard 2-1. Did you see the game? I think it was No Tail. He got level 1. Like on level 1, he got Degen Aura. And an Orb of Venom.
The reason you do that is because it's sort of like... Well, it's a melee hero with an Orb of Venom, but then on top of the Degen Aura, the attack speed slow, which most people don't know about, is really useful. And the movement speed slow, I mean 10% plus the whatever it gives you for Orb of Venom as well is just super
Icy bottom lane, amplified damage. You're going to see him everywhere he goes. Gets a nice battery assault off. This is going to prevent the crush. He's trying to tango his way. Crush is going to take him out. If they can get it, Icy.
Nope.
No mana for the crush on June, surprisingly. He must have, as we didn't see it. The Shadow Fiend did die mid, but that's nothing new, obviously.
That happens.
But what was I going to say? June, he must have gotten hit by the cogs. Because why try to pursue without the crush? I think he definitely
he has a level of bash early. So maybe he was just
true.
hoping. Yeah, he was just hoping for the RNG factor, but that was really well played by Icy. Just popping the battery assault right there in that position. It's really difficult in mid.
lane.
They can't. How? If I don't understand. We didn't see how Ferrari died the last time. But
Well,
like
it's
if
a Viper Strike.
Yeah, but if he abuses the fog there and he never goes down on the low ground with the ward, I feel like he should be okay. But he's just getting pummeled right now. Era's got 25 CS, which is lower than you'd expect in a lane like this, where they've killed the Shadow Fiend, what, 3 times now?
He almost has as many kills as CS, basically.
Yeah, it's
Not really, but
that doesn't even make sense.
it's like a
He's got
gross
9 times
exaggeration.
the-
It's just saying that he's playing really well, okay? God.
He's got 9 times the amount of CS.
Okay, see, that was close. Close enough.
Yeah, that's close enough, dude.
In my world, it is.
It really is.
Ferrari with 16 Necromastery. What do you call them? Charges? What do we call them?
Souls.
Oh,
You could just
see,
call
this
them-
is what you're here for.
Well,
This is what just
the
to fill in
actual
my
name for it,
vocabulary.
souls?
Yeah.
Dude, he talks about souls all the time. He never shuts up about it. So it's not even like,
At this point, I don't even pay attention to the voice.
Oh,
the
really?
voice lines, to be honest.
oh god, I keep thinking that garbage can is a cat.
I don't know what to tell you. You just got to get used to it. at this
It's the
point.
corner of my eye too. I just
Yeah,
wish
it's the peripheral.
I just wish I had worse peripheral vision.
Don't we all?
Yeah, and somehow like mine is pretty terrible as is. Just by looking at me, you can tell that. But for some reason, it's not bad enough for once.
Something we haven't brought up about the Slardar, transitioning from the cat trash can thing, is the amplified damage was buffed big time in the last big patch, where it's a 5-second cooldown compared to 10. I mean, you get twice as many off.
Oh yeah, you can hit almost 4 targets with that in a fight. How long does it last for? 25 seconds? Yeah, you can get like 3 or 4 targets with that in a fight. The thing though is that June is getting pressured a lot in this lane. This Clockwork keeps harassing him. The Clockwork has more farm than the Slardar does in his short lane. That is a product of the Witch Doctor constantly being mid. But I feel as though it's just
He gets an Invis rune. This is actually going to be enough to live in. Viper Strike was used on top of that. The Wisp Balls are going to connect. But a nice block by Chizbug. Doesn't look like it's going to result in a kill yet.
what? Flee.
And here's the Sheep.
Is the
Shadow
Viper coming?
Shaman. Ferrari
Does it matter?
taking a repel. It's only a level 1 repel.
Oh, the hook is on the back line of Chuan is going
Nice
to go
slow
down.
by the troll, and Ferrari looks like he's going to take a spill. Shadow Shaman in the meantime, level 6, could level his wards, doesn't have enough mana to use it, however. The dive continues. June taking a ton of damage, not able to get the kill, however.
They did get a kill on Chuan though, and they got the Omni Knight and the Shadow Fiend for absolutely nothing. And almost your entire team was there to just gain that experience. And you're going to take this tier 1 tower at top, which is like the most value thing ever. And I thought the Viper almost got trapped by wards for a second there.
Radiant structures
That would've
are
been
fortified.
Yeah, we've been. We got off topic, friends, for a second. Please forgive. The Witch Doctor at top, is he level 6?
We got off topic about what?
That garbage trash thing.
I don't. You've never actually watched my cast.
This is one of the.
This is actually very normal.
Okay, okay.
I've gone on like 10-minute tirades about soda during a game. So
See, the thing is, I'm trying to.
you're trying to practice for Join Dota.
My professionalism, dude. I'm
Yeah.
trying my best.
This would not be acceptable at Join Dota.
No, it would not be.
Air right now with 1,100 gold. He's going for mech, it seems. That's pretty much the standard choice. Ferrari, what does he go on his Shadow Fiend? I mean, we've seen mech a lot in Shadow Fiends in general.
You probably, well, I would have said, the thing is, he is going to go for the Yules, it looks like. But I'll tell you why I think the mech would have been okay. I feel like with the type of lineup that HGT have, you need something to dispel the initial burst. Because HGT don't actually have that much burst damage, right? Like, everything is done over time. So if you're able to just kind of take away the initial damage of the troll going in at first, the Viper Strike, and then you can just heal on top of the Omni Knight, I feel like it's really difficult to kill IG's lineup, but he is going to opt to go for the Yules. You can justify that as well. You can stop a hero. It helps the Shadow Fiend be a lot more survivable. You can dodge the Viper Strike for the first, like, 20 minutes of the game before he gets an Aghanim Scepter, and it's really value for you to be able to dodge that spell, right? It's like you're getting rid of 400 damage plus a slow.
Right.
Man, he's just getting abused, though. Every time he keeps coming forward.
Wait, sorry, what item did you say?
Yules.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Ull's Scepter.
So that is, I guess that is the easiest way to dodge, because Manta, you don't really want to get Manta that early.
You're not going to get him. Yeah, it's not even going to benefit you that much. Your illusions aren't going to stand up to anything. Like one rocket. If you have
I didn't
zero
even see
items.
he had Sage's Mask. So.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. See, this is what you're here for, to see what people's
This
inventory holds.
expert analysis. Clicking an inventory and seeing that he has.
I think that's one of the so out of all my years of Dota, which is actually a lot.
Okay.
This is one of the coolest change. How do I explain this? The coolest shifts in the meta to where, like, as far as item change goes, like
We're just getting Yules as a thing
just
now?
getting Yules on Shadow Fiend in general. It's like unheard of. This hookshot's gonna miss absolutely horribly. I'm expecting a pause for lag any second now.
What is that?
That was actually way off.
Yeah, that was one of the more confusing misses, especially since he saw Chuan change his direction. It wasn't even like that was a juke. It was like a gradual move. But can't harp on it too much. That's just one of his. It's just something that happens. Yeah.
Fortifications pop from bottom tower, but TSMJ and company with that battle trance should be able to take out this tower with ease. Are you a troll player at all?
Yeah. Everybody is.
So that's a good point.
Yeah. The hero honestly just plays itself.
I mean, ever since that one bug fix, that's when he's come online.
Yeah.
Just one little bug fix. Tell everybody why that's such a big deal.
It allows you to Roshan really easily.
Well, people don't know what the bug is.
Oh, it's that your fervor stacks weren't adding up correctly.
It was just the first one.
Yeah, so then now it makes a big difference because for one, tower pushing, just being able to hit once less, to be able to get that max speed off, it helps for Roshan as well. It's not just that though, it's that people discovered how good he was at doing so many things. Having single heroes that can do Roshan by themselves are such an underrated thing. Because before it was just like an Ursa thing to do, but now you see Troll, Juggernaut, both of these heroes can do it so by themselves. Before you need a medallion, or you need Ursa, and then you'd be stuck with an Ursa. But Troll and Juggernaut, they actually scale out of the game okay, and that's why you pick these types of heroes, because they provide a lot for your lineup. Like, having a hero that can push towers, win his lane, and do Roshan by himself, like, that's so invaluable. Those are skill sets that you need. He's the Liam Neeson of...
I like that. Oh, we're going to have a relocate top. It's going to be the Wisp
cast.
and air. Wisp gets blown up right off the bat. A mech is popped out. Death Ward, basically full duration with Maledict. What the hell level is this Maledict? Level 2. Not sure if that's going to be enough to take the kill on air, though. Either way, it forces them back completely.
That was a confusing decision. ZSMJ didn't TP. Your Pretty Hot didn't TP as well. You just TP'd in the middle of 5 heroes. You saw them too, and there was no creep wave. That cask isn't going anywhere. That's only following you. That can't have been a good idea by the Wisp player. I don't know whose idea that was, the Wisp or the Viper, one of them. And something I'm seeing out of ZSMJ's games is he just doesn't come to fights. Like, he had the TP there. I definitely think, even if the cask is bouncing like that, if him and the Shadow Shaman go at the same time with the clockwork, like if all 5 engage right there, I think that's an easily won fight for HGT.
Interesting that it's not interesting. I know saying W-O-N, the pronunciation. Say it again.
Won fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know how I pronounce it?
One?
Yeah.
Really?
So it's actually, what I've noticed is Asian Americans, which isn't really it's a pretty dumb term. Asians that are basically Americans.
Okay.
Say Juan. Almost exclusively. And then everybody else says Juan.
Are you sure this isn't just anecdotal experience? There's like
It's
4 people
definitely
you know.
anecdotal experience, but
it's just like 4
it's a
people.
larger number than 4. Okay, I can tell you that right now.
Okay.
It's just interesting. June on the slaughter. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Just go off on a tangent.
Yeah.
Slaughter has his blink, so this is he got it around 14 minutes. So 14-minute blink. They're gonna smoke up, look for a kill pretty much right off the bat. Death Ward's off cooldown. Omni Knight has 3 levels in purification, not quite level 6 yet, but he does have the Soul Ring, which will allow him to sustain his mana pool during these fights. But they're not gonna find anybody.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that HGT is spotted going down to this bottom lane by this ward. This is actually a really good ward. It's a little bit difficult to de-ward. You assume that they would have it on the right side where HGT does.
Mm-hmm.
And HGT actually is doing this really common strategy now of placing 2 aggressive jungle wards. Notice they were placed almost back-to-back in succession. The reason for it is, for one, it protects your Roshan, the first ward. The second ward allows you to jungle their camps effectively while seeing them come.
Radiant's
Because
bottom
IG,
tower
at
is
this
under
phase of the
attack.
game, if it's one hero in their jungle farming, like their troll farms their mid camp and the other 2 camps, he's just going to deny you a lot of farm. And at the same time, you're not going to smoke gank for it, right? So he's always going to be able to run away in time just with phase boots because the hero's so damn fast. And so by placing both of these wards, they're securing like a large portion of the map. You might think, like, somebody might see that and say, okay, that's a bit redundant, but it's not whatsoever. Because if you're any game you're ahead, and you're able to take advantage of the enemy team's jungle, is a game that you're just going to get further and further ahead. It's like an extra lane to farm. It's like you've got 4 lanes to farm as opposed to the 2 that IG have.
HGT take a tier 2 and they trade the tier 1 top. Pretty sure they'll take that trade any day of the week, although that is an important tier 1 at the top lane.
I don't know if you take that trade, actually. Because
Really?
if you don't plan on going high ground here, you could have sent people back in time. Because look how early
you didn't need your whole team. Okay,
IG bailed really early. The LGD of TI2/TI3 was the best proponents of this I've ever seen. It was like, we'll take a tier 1 if it's not at the cost of our tier 1, because we can just get it later. So it's when this is a trade that I think both teams take and they're satisfied with. But at the same time, if IG's in a position where they're getting a little bit far behind, they've given up the Roche, they're giving up towers, taking a 1-for-1 tower scenario at that point isn't that bad, right? Like, what does that tier 2 at bottom really sacrifice for you? The biggest thing that you lose is control of your jungle. That's the scariest part.
The jungle and then the Roche, I guess.
I mean, Roshan, if it comes up, you're going to smoke down for it anyways. It's not like anybody's going to rely on the TP there.
Amplify damage on air. He doesn't seem to care too much about it as the battle trance is popped. Right clicks commence on the tier 2 mid. BKB now up in full for ZSMJ. Looks like the Shadow Fiend is top right now, trying to push a bit.
He has to do this. He doesn't add anything to this defense at this point. He just has to get as much farm as he possibly can.
And he has a Blink and Yules now. So
it's the damage build.
Yeah.
We have TP. It's going to scare him back. It's just a clockwork, though, with the Force Staff.
Yeah. You see, now they're thinking, okay, we shouldn't trade this tower to this Shadow Fiend. The thing is that IG's game plan is simple. I'll tell you right now. The expert 7K analysis. Haha, XD. What you want to do in scenarios where if you're behind like this is that you have to take aggressive moves like Ferrari just did, but in actuality, they're not very aggressive because of the fact that everyone is shown on the map, correct? So it's not even like it's...
Oh, Ferrari.
That big
He's
of a
going to
deal.
get gripped right away by Pretty Hot. He's almost dead right off the bat. He Yules himself. June is available with the
He is
repel
still
on
dead.
him. He's going to fall right away, and Shizzbug is going to be next in line. He gets the Guardian Angel off, and the chase will continue. ZSMJ
He's fast
really
enough that
hungry
he's
for
going to
this.
go for this.
He's going to hit. One more right click's going to do it. June
June
gets
just
a nice
messed
crush,
up
but it's a
now,
little
too.
bit too late. He has sprint in 1 second. Blink offline. Or, yeah, from the 5
he's just
seconds.
got he got 4-staff forward. He's got blink. He's going to be able to catch him.
Shadow Shaman with the blink there. That is
No,
huge.
you greedy. You're so greedy.
Greed will be your downfall as June attempts to run away with the sprint. He's going to be okay. Gotta call.
He had the shackle there, and the troll could have just phase booted over him. And I think he was afraid of blocking his team.
Oh, I see.
But I think if ZFSMJ, I mean, he has phase boots, you can just walk by that. You don't care, dude.
We have a casking them out. Into Death Ward, into Crush. A nice force staff's going to keep ZSMJ alive, at least for now. June, in the meantime, might not be so lucky. He's going to die inside the cogs. Guess who else is in there? Bristleback. He might trade his life as well. They're going to get the clockwork at the end. Repel's going to save the Bristleback for now. And Air and company taking the cast, which is bouncing left, right, left, right.
IG have to be really
More
careful
damage
for this,
applied.
though. They don't have as much tank ability as they might think. The Wisp turnaround potential is still really high. He's got a 17 charge wand. He's popping a salve. They don't want to overextend for this. They lost the Slardar in exchange for the clockwork. I mean, like I said, 1-for-1 trades at this point are the best that they're going to get. Just bless themselves that they haven't lost any more. That's kind of the annoying power of Omni Knight.
Is there any... Okay, so here's the thing. Does Shadow Fiend need to go BKB, or is Repel good enough?
I think in 90% of scenarios, I would tell you that he does. But I think in a game where you're behind, your mentality shifts completely. Where once he might have thought, okay, once I get this Blink Yules, BKB, we can fight. He might think to himself now, okay, now that the game is going how it's going, maybe I have to go for a little bit more damage and split push, right? Because the question you ask yourself if you're Ferrari is, if I get a BKB, and this is what you ask yourself every single time you pick up a BKB, it's, if I get a BKB, does this item win me the game, right? Like, is this what's going to turn around our team's fortunes? And if the answer is no, and you have to trade off for a little bit of greed, then you take that.
So then what's the answer? I mean, it looks like June is going to be the one building the BKB. So the repel, in all likelihood, will be reserved for either Bristleback or the
Ferrari might still get it at some point. I mean, he might still get it right now, but I think that he would regret that choice. Like Envy says, that's a game-losing BKB.
Well, Envy never buys BKBs, so... Nah, he's gotten a little bit better, actually.
Yeah. Scotty, Butterfly, Manta, any of those options could be attractive.
I wouldn't mind seeing a Scotty. Always a fan of that item.
The thing is that the BKB doesn't even help him that much. Just the raw damage output of Viper and Troll. Viper is actually one of the better BKB counters. You just spam your poison at him and outposition him.
Yeah, is he going for Ags? Let's see.
He should at some point.
Something's coming on the courier.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Goes Yasha first. Clockwork. I think he found the Shadow Fiend. Doesn't seem to care too much about it. Shots available. He has a point booster, so he's going for Aghanim Scepter, which would be pretty huge. ZSMJ has a 9-second BKB intact, along with the Vlads and 2,500 gold to boot. What do you go on Troll next? We've seen a lot of... we've seen
Blink
some
is really
Scotties.
good here.
Yeah, we've seen Blinks. We've seen a lot of variation in the build. We've seen a lot of S and Y, too.
Maybe you don't want to actually Blink, though, against this type of lineup, where you close distance against heroes that you can't necessarily burst down. I'd say if the Omni Knight weren't in this game, or the Slardar, it would be an excellent decision. Scotty would be okay here. I definitely don't... He went Shadowblade last game, but definitely don't know if that's the item this game. Because if you're amplified, the mobility aspect of the item just kills itself.
And if you're HGT, as we might see some action here, ZSMJ gets some whirling axes onto 430.
Oh,
Ferrari
ZSM
himself.
Ferrari, he's actually... What does he do here?
He's going to Yules and just blink, apparently. He's fine, is he? Oh, hookshot's going to be blind. That wasn't even with the rocket flare at all. Nicely done by Icy, and down goes the Shadow.
Yes. That was such a smart play by ZSMJ. He pops his BKB, and he's like, okay, go Yules yourself and land back where I am. But Ferrari was fast enough at that point. There was no... He would have had to have, like, preemptively extra waited, but he didn't have that up. So Ferrari made the excellent play there.
Oh, wow, look at this. We didn't even think about this. This is
What?
the diffusal blade on Troll versus...
Oh, I'm such an idiot. Somebody's going to call me out for that.
What an idiot.
Yeah, that Omni's just...
Unbelievable. He's going to have a crush on ZSMJ, gets amplified damage, along with the Death Ward, but it's bouncing to the wrong person onto Icy. There we go. As ZSMJ is getting wrecked by this ward now. Cogs place, nice zoning. Clockwork will live for now. Pretty not going to be so lucky, as we see
that's
the
Slardar
Guardian
ult.
Angel popped. And the Serpent Wards were in decent position overall, but the Guardian Angel obviously will block all of that damage. His hookshot will connect on G. Icy might sacrifice his life for this. ZSMJ, if they can get this kill, maybe it's worth it. But there's the Maledict. And it looks like Bristleback will live, so the Clockwork initiation did not end up working.
Yeah, ZSMJ just took so much damage in that fight. He had the amplified damage on, and then he kept walking into the chaos, the ward, and it just kept hitting him over and over and over again, and he didn't know whether he wanted to go in or not, and the Clockwork just had too little HP to initiate, and that Bristleback, just with the Omni Knight supporting him behind, it's just such a tough proposition to be able to take him down.
I've talked to a lot of people about this, and maybe you at some point. I don't think so, though.
Okay, so
the diffusal. What do you think about the charge system right now, or how, like, the upgrade system in general?
I like it. I think the item isn't picked up enough that... I mean, I like it. I think it's pretty balanced.
I don't like the idea that you can run out of charges. Or more so, it's not... Actually, that's one thing, but the bigger problem, I think, is if you want to upgrade, you lose the charges.
Okay. The problem, though, is that, for example, heroes like Warlock, right? You would make him essentially null by this one item, right?
I don't think that's true, because there's a big cooldown, and we've seen a lot of Warlock, and the diffuser just doesn't seem to be that... Like, it depends on when you pick it up.
What if you get multiple diffusers? You get like 4 diffusers on your team.
Then you're building 4 diffusers on your team as June is going to get shackled and destroyed. And the tower was denied as well. You really think 4 diffusers would ever be viable on a team? Like 4 agility here, you have Vengeful Spirit as
But
support.
still, I think it's silly that, you know, one item can ruin a hero that hard, and it does ruin Omni Knight especially that hard. So I feel like the system itself is very balanced. It's not an item that's picked up enough where you have to examine it too closely.
I agree with that.
Diffusal. I'm still kicking myself over that. The Omnis just seem like such a non-factor in most of these fights in the beginning.
It's true.
That I forgot about the fact that he existed, to be honest.
It's never a good thing if you're not. We can see the Serpent Wars plays. This is a level 2 Serpent.
Look at how fast ZSMJ attacks.
That's Battle Transference. Purification does quite a bit of damage to him. It's going to take a Maledict as well as the Death Ward, but it's just going to force them back for a little bit.
It keeps going on this Viper. I question that decision of putting it on the Viper, actually. And it just looks like they're going to piddle their way out. HGT, it looks... They do have minor advantages, but the problem right now is that what are they doing with them? They can't exactly push the high ground against IG's lineup. IG's lineup, if you give up another fight against this at this point in the game, like let's say they full team wipe HGT, the score would still look like 10 to 11 in HGT's favor, but kills in the later aspect of the game means so much more just in terms of the amount of experience bounty that you give up. That's probably the biggest shift, and it's a momentum thing as well. I just had like the most obvious statement. It's like as the game gets later, dying is more important.
Viper top lane. Still has Aegis. Might get ganked. Does he care? Is the question.
I don't think they burst in place in time. Aegis not going to be able to do anything
Especially with this TP from Wisp.
What they're really doing...
Blink dagger, by the way.
Yeah, what they're really doing is securing June's farm. Remember I said you're always looking to farm out your enemy's jungle just to leave your own jungle open to the rest of your team. And that blink dagger on that Wisp is just a benefit, or it's so that when he relocates in, what he's actually going to do is just blink out immediately. And then wait for the cask to go on one hero, and then he'll tether in.
What do you think about that blink tether? Have you seen that?
No.
It's apparently Syndra thought it was a bug, but apparently it's not. It's been in the game for a long time where you link up and then you blink immediately, and you can be like twice the range of a normal
really?
blink. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, I guess that works too.
We're gonna see that in action, guaranteed, right now.
Definitely the biggest benefit of this is just don't get cast. Don't get cast. Maybe I think the Force Staff would have actually been better, but if he's trying to do the thing that you're talking about, there's a good chance that they know about that.
Ghost Scepter on Shadow Fiend. Is he going for Ethereal?
Incoming.
What are your thoughts on that?
Not the biggest fan here. He does have the item fully completed. I guess it helps against the Viper's potential damage output. You just eth the Viper, but he's got a Manta now, so you can just kind of eth that out.
Top tower is under attack.
Whoever Troll's focusing on or something. So, I mean, we've seen Ethereal on Shadow Fiend before, and it transitions it. It just breaks it apart later,
Top tower
and then
has
makes
fallen.
a butterfly and just keeps the casual Ghost Scepter. But I mean, you can cast this potentially on the enemy, or our teammates might be a little bit.
I mean, with a Diffusal on the other team, though, it's kind of troublesome.
But do you really use a Diffusal on that instead of a Repel, Guardian Angel?
I guess
target?
not.
I mean, what's the cooldown on Diffusal? So the question is like 10 seconds? 8 seconds. Okay, that's actually kind of low.
I feel weird about that F blade choice, but I feel like you can justify it just by the fact that most of HGT's damage is almost entirely physical, right? The only proponent is the Ether Shock, whatever the Clockwork does, but he doesn't really bother you too much at this point. And I guess the Viper, who's elected to not go in Aghanims at all at any point, which I feel like is a mistake, especially with Guardian Angel at the point.
Who's going Axe? Who needs to go Axe?
I said I think Viper should go Axe at some point.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go that first before Manta, but
I think you can justify getting the Yasha, but especially if you're going to get the Aghanim Scepter and there's just diffusals everywhere. I feel like the item is...
Oh, Troll. Cog, Battery Assault. He's going to try to TP out, but the Battery Assault would finally... In fact, he actually hookshot. He did. None of the Battery Assault procs were actually hitting.
He got worried for half a second. He's like, what if I am just the unluckiest person in the entire world?
It was like a 1 in 3 over and over again. Well, top lane, Ferrari's going to do what he does best, and that's push lanes.
Dire's top tower is
Thinking
under
that there might be
attack.
somebody there, but little does he know that is not the case.
Just when everybody on HGT disappears, what HGT should do is just farm out the enemy jungle and the Ancients, and then make Ferrari think that people are up there. Eventually, Ferrari will leave this lane, but for now, you just have to kind of apply side pressure.
ZSMJ. We'll defend the top lane and Shadow Fiend. Still chilling. He doesn't have a TP or anything. And Rocket, not quite going to scout him out. That would be disastrous if they could find him. But look at the ward differential here. Let's take a look at the mini-map. Look at the difference in vision, guys. This is the Radiant Vision, and this is the Dire. So very aggressive wards. Nothing in their actual jungle at all, and that's... I mean, that's map control in a nutshell, I suppose.
Yeah, just difficult to keep up vision in scenarios like this where your team is so far behind that they have to who's going to get up there to place defensive wards? They've got one defensive ward for Ferrari, but that just leaves the rest of the space open. It's almost like they're saying, okay, we can see Roshan at this point.
I mean, we can look at the net worth charts and see how the differential in net worth. Well, I just said net worth like 5 times. We can see the differential between the carries from each respective team. I think the bigger deal is actually the supports, and we might have to wait on that for just a second. Here's the Crush initiation from June. ZSMJ gets Ethereal Bladed. Purification does a lot of damage as well, and Troll will fall, but here's a Relocate. Wisp is going to be tethered to the Viper, the best combination in the game. Blitz definitely agrees with that. As Pretty Hot's going to end up going, no! They're going to kill the Slaughter first. It's a 1-for-1 exchange. It's Ferrari taking the poison impacts from air. He gets Purified and then Hookshot immediately after. Guardian Angel only on himself, not even in range of poor Ferrari. Gets repelled. He might get out of this just fine, but still misplays. G going to continue to chase, but he is so slow thanks to air, who has no mana whatsoever. Pretty Hot can't really get close enough. He jumps in just for a sheep, which is actually a ram. Hookshot completely misses, it sounds like.
No, he got Ferrari.
Oh, he's still going for Ferrari. 5 seconds. On the Rocket Flare, he has an Aghanim Scepter, so Hookshot will be up again. Is he going to find it? He does, and Ferrari's going to go down. He gets Purified at the last second, though, and repelled. And Clockwork is forced to force-staff himself out, and he will TP to safety just barely. Really well played. And the Ethereal Blade. Such a weird item, but it's going to work on the Shadow Shaman. And 1 raise is enough to get the double kill for Ferrari.
You're so you, Ferrari. Just the presence of mind to be able to know that he was going to be able to turn around on that, and there wasn't going to be any sort of rebuttal. Just an excellent play by him.
That was pretty sick. I can't believe he lived that many times.
Yeah, that was really nifty. That Yule Scepter, man, so valued. Pays for itself.
The only difference in Guardian Angel, other than mana cost, is the duration,
middle
right?
tower is under attack.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
That actually, it was really weird. The Guardian Angel looked like it should have been in range. I'm surprised it didn't hit. Not that it really made a difference, I guess.
Problem right now for HGT is that they don't really have a way to end the game. And the longer this goes, I think IG's lineup just has a little bit more synergy in terms of damage. Like, Wisp isn't a hero. He allows you to boost your potential damage, and he keeps people alive, but he himself as a hero doesn't deal any direct damage. Shadow Shaman is kind of in a similar respect. I mean, he's got wards and stuff like that, and he's got 2 disables, but only one of them is super reliable. Your Clockwork, I mean, he's got an Ags and a Force Staff, but as you just saw, doesn't do too much damage by himself, especially with the items and heroes in the game. And Troll is probably your only damage dealer, but he decided to opt instead to go for a Diffusal Blade. Whereas the Shadow Fiend, he's got a lot of damage on his side. The Bristleback just keeps getting stronger and stronger. With the Heaven's Halberd now, too. That's such a value pickup.
We can actually just go over some of the item progressions, since the supports is something I wanted to mention, the discrepancy from before, which has been alleviated to some degree based on that last fight. But the Shadow Shaman was working on Ags, and he is getting, I think there's probably something in the stash. No, he's just lost a lot of money.
Boom, there he goes.
Troll Warlord, 3,200 gold now. The question is, what does he go? Scotty, something for more survivability or a little bit more DPS? What's your opinion on that, as Roche is going to be scouted out now by HGT?
I think Scotty is not the best option here. I feel like Butter or some sort of armor just with the goo and... Yeah, Butterfly is probably your best option, in all honesty. Air goes the really smart decision. If you're not going to go with Ags, at least get an Assault Curse for your team. That really heavily helps with the Slardar ultimate right now, especially since it's only a level 2. Does that negate it almost entirely? What is that, a 15 damage reduction aura? What is... gives you 5 aura for Assault Curse. Yeah, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, pretty... I mean, that's... The
it
Vlad
negates
as
it
well
for
is
himself.
another 5 armor as well.
Yeah, so it's like 10 armor off the bat that you gain for yourself that you reduce.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And you talked about the Halberd on Bristleback. Chuan was working on his Aghanim Scepter. He's about 500 away from that. That is a pretty enormous item if you can end up getting it. And the dream is real. Omni Knight, I hope this is the beginnings of an Aghanim Scepter for himself, but could
That's
be
a
a
Force
variety of
Staff.
things.
I think it's
No,
Force.
it's an Aghanim Scepter, okay? We gotta keep the dream alive, Blitz.
That's a Manta style now on the Troll Warlord.
He's had that, hasn't he?
No,
Maybe
he
not.
just picked it up. He had the Yasha forever, if you remember.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He had that Yasha for like 10 years.
10-year Yasha. Gem, pretty hot, looking for counter-porting potential. He has a point booster. I thought he would be working a little bit faster towards his Ags as well.
I guess in this type of scenario, getting a gem is probably the best pickup that you can make for somebody. Oh, no, that was Kaka that got it. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Just not being able to find a lot of farm when you've got a troll as a core. It takes up everything.
Late game, who do you take? If it goes like 50,
If
60.
everybody itemizes like completely right, I'd say IG might have an advantage. Just their supports are more useful in the ultra late game, right?
Yeah.
Like Witch Doctor and Omni Knight are never really bad late game, right? Something like Repel, Guardian Angel. You've got the Witch Doctor ult that just does tons of damage no matter what.
And ZSMJ taking a ton of damage. Maledict doing a lot as well. But he will live with that Aegis intact. Air in the meantime. Going to be spotted out by Ferrari. Yeah, it's tough depending on who gets farm on the supports, obviously. But all things considered equal, I think IG has a better late game.
You've got so much negative armor, which is just always useful.
Yeah. But with HGT, currently, I mean, ZSMJ is super scary with items as well. Of course, Diffusal maybe not exactly wanted to go for, but that's like for the price, it gives a lot of damage and agility.
The thing, though, is that once his BKB pops to 5 seconds, which he's really close to, and they don't use this Aegis properly, they're going to get in a really awkward scenario where you've got a lot of farm on troll, but you've got items that you don't want on him, right? Think about it. Diffusal, not that scary, right? The Manta style, also not that scary. 5-second BKB, Vlad's, that's not a really expensive item. It doesn't add too much to you. I feel like right now it may look like HGT have a large advantage, but I'd say if this goes another, I say 5-10 minutes without anything happening, IG can definitely turn it around. They've got the tools to anyways. They've got the Witch Doctor ultimate. They've got Guardian Angel. Like, those two support ults enough can win you the fight if they're used properly.
And you were unfortunately correct. It is a 4-staff on Omni Knight.
Yeah, of course, man. That'd be absolutely insane if...
I want to see Ag. Well, HGT does have the Aegis and Cheese, and this might be their best opportunity to break the base, and I think they need... I agree with you. They need to get a Rex. At least one relatively short. So he's going to take amplified damage. Going to right-click G a little bit. aka Luo, of course. Luo continuing to stack the minus armor, but with that Vlad's, with that Assault Cuirass, it's only going to do a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like that those wards just kind of fall to the bristleback. He's in charge so far. He's got plus 235 damage. I don't think he's going to overextend for this. Just continue to use Quill Sprays. I think IG have the same thought that I do. That if they can just hold, defend, we win the late game. Yeah, Ferrari eventually does go for the BKB. I think this is the right choice. I just didn't like it as a second major item.
It's so strange to see 0 DPS items on Shadow Fiends these days, and I think I'm finally starting to get used to it. It seems extremely effective, obviously.
Yeah, it's just the nature of the hero.
ZSMJ's ult is up. He wants to use it. He does so right then and there. Hookshot available. Not the best usage of Battle Trance, just for like just a couple attacks. And they're going to back up.
Yeah, HGT are just going to get out of here, and
Aegis
this is going to be
about to pop.
Aegis, this is going to be another use
time
for this.
What in the world?
The problem is, how do you go high ground into triple raise and then you just send the bristle back out with
Boom, there it goes.
he just spams Quill Sprays and Repel. He has Repel. What do you defusal him there? Go balls deep. You defusal him there, and then what happens? You just don't kill him because he's a bristleback. And then he just gets repelled again, and then Guardian Angels popped. Yada yada yada. Long story short, lost fight for HGT.
Is that a Seinfeld reference?
No. Damn. I don't watch that show, man.
What? What? Wait,
Dude,
you're 25. You should be...
I'm 24. Don't overstate these things, man.
Do you like the Beatles?
Yeah, Beatles.
Okay, well that's something.
I get down.
Alright, you're forgiven then, I guess.
Thank you, thank
Wait,
you.
do you just dislike it or you just don't watch it?
I just don't watch it.
Okay. Forgiven.
Isn't that even worse? They don't even give the show a chance.
Here.
No. Ignorance is bliss. June, repelled at the moment. Has BKB as well, and a casual vitality boost. Uh-oh. Ooh, Shadow Shaman blinks out to safety. There is vision now for IG. They see all. Question is, what do HGT see? Well, they rocketed.
Yeah, maybe IG go for a Roche of their own here.
They can get it so fast, too.
With the Necro, what is it called? Presence of the Dark Lord.
Harry Potter style.
Yeah. I was thinking Necromancer Cruising for a weird reason. Presence of the Dark Lord plus Amplify Damage. What a weird spell name. Amplify Damage.
It's very generic, just
Yeah,
like
it really
just
is.
like his base model. I feel like they need to rename his spells when they redo the base model. What do you think? What would you name them?
Amplify Damage and then Bash.
They're all just basic.
Yeah, isn't like Void's Time Lock or something like that?
Yeah.
It's just, it sounds
They
a
don't
lot
give.
better.
Poor Slar just gets. I don't know. He gets no love. All right, let's think of new names. Sprint is okay. I'm okay with Sprint. Slithering Crush. That's
Are
actually.
you really
fine.
okay with Sprint? It's just, it's Sprint. Sprint.
Yeah, but
Bash.
there's nothing similar in the game.
If nobody ever played Dota and they looked at those 3 skills, they would say, okay, that's what that does. And in some aspects, I guess that's good. But if you're playing Dota, a game about magical
All right,
fish,
let's think
that
of a
can
new name. I can't think of
blink.
anything.
Okay,
for-
Sprint. Instead of Sprint, I'd
Yeah.
say Wet Movement.
That is the most sexually
No!
amazing skill name I've ever heard.
It's like, the hero's like an amphibious kind of guy.
It's really terrible. Think of a new. That's beyond terrible.
Um,
All right, we can come back to that one if you want, because I couldn't think of one for that one either.
yeah.
All right, so Slithering Crush, I'm okay with that one.
Slytherin.
Like,
okay,
Crush
I like
in
that.
general
yeah.
is really cool.
Okay, I like that.
All right, Bash.
Bash is kind of,
It's way too generic. Let's.
yeah. What is his weapon? Is that a trident?
I think it's a Trident.
You could call it Trident something. You know, it's like
Trident Bash.
no, Trident Smash or something. I don't know. You could call it something that isn't just Bash.
Trident Smash. I'm up with the Trident. I don't know about Smash.
Yeah, it's just you just choose like some generic word for. That sounds kind of cool.
People are liking the Wet Movement one.
Wet Movement is definitely not what we're gonna. It was just. I'm an innocent boy, guys.
All right,
just
and
trying
then,
to
and then
cast
the
some Dota,
ultimate.
too.
The problem is I don't have any like cool names for like
You
fish
could,
stuff.
you could go like Shield Breaker or something. What is that? thing?
That's a Han item, so I don't think.
Oh,
we'll go
really?
there. That's I think that's Desolator.
Oh, okay. You call it
Amplified damage.
something different. Something.
Get Wrecked Armor.
Okay.
I'd like to say that in team fights. Get Wrecked Armor. Why not?
No
So we might have a team fight.
avail.
Ferrari and company. Oh
Roche.
boy, they're gonna find ZSMJ. The Crush is there. Oh, ZSMJ. He gets 4-step onto the cliff. Where the hell did
wow.
he go? Io took him back home. That is a huge play. Chuan's gonna get destroyed with that death. We're doing a decent amount of damage overall.
This Guardian
BKB popped
Angel
by
was
Ferrari.
popped as well, though, and
Is a
the
1-for-1
come back in?
Clockwork buys back. Ferrari continuing to right
Ferrari's
click.
BKB is actually done now.
There's still repel if he needs it. Ferrari, though, getting extremely low. Pops his Ghost Scepter and will finally go down. I don't know why the secret shop came up. I'm not interested in buying items right now. June gets another kill to his name. 3 deaths for IG. 2 buybacks, though, for HGT. This is a 3-for-3 overall. And HGT is back in full force. June gets hookshot right off the bat. And that is a full team wipe, but it did cost 3. Is Roshan up? Yes, he is. That's a free Roche.
Yeah, you had to use the buyback on the Viper, the Clockwork. And if that troll didn't get saved right at that moment by that Wisp, that was such a clutch play. Did you see what happened? The Clockwork sacrificed himself, 4 staffs the troll up onto the cliff, and then the Wisp tethers
Yeah,
and
that was pretty
relocates him.
sick.
That was just the Operation Save ZSMJ. Like, we will sack our lives.
They're not going to go for Rush. Just go for Rax. I guess I can't blame them, but Battle Chance was only a 30-second cooldown.
What's the downside here? You force 3 buybacks and then you go for a Roche anyways? Like,
June gets a double crush, but then gets initiated on right off the bat. Shackle into all the right clicks. He will fall.
just
That's a
blew
dieback. Battle Chance still up because it's the most ridiculous spell in the game. And down goes the
You're not
entire
wrong.
mid-rack.
I think they're going to go for bottom, and they can even go for Roche after this with both your tanky cores down. I just did the boop.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Both your tanky cores are down. ZSMJ. That play, though, by
Look
HGT.
how fast he attacks, just with Fervor
So
and
sick.
Io. They're going to get melee Rex bottom. They can just back up and press go for Roche. Ferrari's going to be taking the brunt of the damage. You're seeing Albert come into play. ZSMJ pops the BKB with the Deathward's doing a lot of damage, but G looks to be the first to fall in this engagement. Slaughter is still dead. We're not going to get any wreck of armor. Unfortunately, Chizbug is going to die. This is a double kill for ZSMJ. The last survivor is Chuan, but no more. This is GG, I think.
That triple buyback and saving that troll there was just what they needed to be able to break this. Absolutely worth it for them to, obviously, it was absolutely worth it for them to buy back.
Hey, guess what's up
Everyone
again?
really.
It's called Battle.
Yep, that glyph isn't up, though. Alright, racks are gone.
All right, HGT taking out IG, and as a result, don't quote me, pretty sure they're guaranteed to be top 12 now.
Yeah, I think at the very least they're going to play tiebreakers. But man, that wow, it smells like something's burning in here.
It does.
Do you smell that? That's actually
What is that?
not good.
It could be the heater or something.
No, that's not the heater. The fan's on, dude.
All right, we're going to wrap this up just in case the house is burning down, so let's turn on the lights and say goodbye, just in case.
You smell that too, right?
Yeah, I smell that.
That's definitely a burning.
It could be like...
That is definitely.
You want to go check it out while I wrap it up?
No, I don't want to be unprofessional. I feel like if I...
Are you sure it's in the room, or...?
The thing is, if nothing's on fire right now and I end this cast like this, I feel like it'd be really unprofessional. So we just take the risk, I guess.
We're going to just wrap it up. My name is SUNSfan, joined by Blitz. Thanks for joining me, man. Give me a high five. Yeah. I need a more passionate high five.
Dude, we could be dying right now. All right, whatever.
There you go.
It smells like smoke,
better.
though. We should definitely...
Yeah, we're going to go now, friends. SUNSfan, Blitz, signing out. We might have tiebreakers. I'm not sure. We're going to leave the stream on, and then I'll update you guys how the fire is going and all that good stuff. Okay, bye.